Hello. Hello. Okay. Hello. Yeah. Today, Sabatina is free from more. They are from mid struggle going somewhere every day of the year. There have been more than one. Hello, everybody. Okay. Wow, today's little bit late. Okay, let's continue to read this book. The New Alchemy. The New Alchemy. Okay, the alchemists of ancient times vainly sought, vainly, vainly, oh my God, vainly sought the philosopher's stone, which they believed would turn lead into gold. Is it possible that such a stone actually has been found? Can it be that many alchemists of our own time have learned how to transmute war into debt, transmute and debt into war, and both into gold for themselves. Oh my God！哇，这个问题问得好哎，这个问题问得好，这个问题问得好，这个问题呢？古代炼金术徒劳的寻找真实。When it sought for the philosophy stone，他们相信这种石头能将铅 they believe would turn lead into gold。这种石头真的是否已找到呢？我们这个时代的货币炼金术是否已经如何将战争转化为债务，再将债务转化为战争，并将两者都变成他们自己的黄金呢？Oh my goodness! Philosophy stone alchemists vainly 不是自负的吗？啊，徒劳的，白费力气的。Vainly philosophy stone. Is it possible that such stone actually has been found? Can it be that the many alchemists of our own time have learned how to transmute war into debt and debt into war and both into gold for themselves? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 二战背景，可能指二战期间金融势力如何通过战争融资向交战国提供贷款或战后重建获利。前面提到汤姆森的商业计划，这可能延伸到战时金融家如何将全球冲突转化为利润。货币炼金术。Okay, in previous section, we theorized the strategy. 到的啊the Rothschild formula, in which the words money, cable, cabal, 这个 cabal, cabal, deliberately 有意的、故意的、小心翼翼的 encourages war as a means of stimulating 刺激 stimulating the profitable production of armament and of keeping nations perpetually in debt. Stimulation. Mhm. This is not profit seeking, it is genocide. Genocide. It is not a trivial matter. It's not a trivial matter. 微不足道 it is a matter, therefore, to inquiry into the possibility that our elected and non-elected leaders are, in fact, implementing the first formula today. Yes. In his address to the graduating class at Annapolis in 1983, Secretary of Navy John Lemon said, "Within weeks, many of you will be looking across just hundreds of feet of water at some of the most modern technology ever invented in America. Unfortunately, it is on Soviet ships. Within weeks, many of you will be looking across just hundreds of feet of water at some of the most modern technology ever invented in America." 什么意思？in in in his 在他的毕业的会议上，他说了什么呢？在不久的将来，因为几周之后呢，几周之内，many of you will look across just hundreds of feet of water at some of the most modern technology were invented in America. 反正是指着你们叫隔着 look across，看到美国方面的一些最现代化的技术 looking across just hundreds of feet of water. At looking across at some of the most modern technology ever invented in America. Unfortunately, it's on Soviet ship. Looking across at some ever invented, most modern technology ever invented. Unfortunately, it's on Soviet ship. 还在海上面对苏联任性，这些舰艇源自美国技术，技术泄露很多次。Okay. As Professor Sutton observed in his book, the best enemy money can buy. The guns, the ammunitions, the weapons, 武器弹药 the transportation systems that killed Americans in Korea and Vietnam came from the American subsidies in economy of the Soviet Union. The trucks that carried these weapons down to Ho Chi Minh Trail were manufactured The American built plants, the ships that carried the supplies to Shenandoah and Haiphong, and later into Angola and Nicaragua, came from NATO allies and used propulsion systems that our State Department could have kept out seven-handed. Sutton concludes the technical capability to wage the Korean and Vietnamese wars originated on both sides in Western, mainly American technology, and the political illusion of peaceful trade promoted by the Daniel Blanman was the career for the war-making technology. Atom. That led up to the more recent wars in the Middle East and the rise of Islamic fundamentalism. 哦，伊斯兰基地组织。Oh my God，这 Iran, Iraq, Serbia, Algeria, and PRO, the Muslim Brotherhood, wow, and the similar anti-American groupings have all received weapons, fundings, and clandestine support. Clandestine, clandestine 秘密的啊。From the US government in the Gulf War, 海湾战争, every effort was made to ensure that Hussein's region was contained but not destroyed. Shades of Korea and Vietnam Wars. Shades of Yin. Most of his bacterial weapons factories were spared. After the ceasefire, he was allowed to keep his fleet of helicopters, gunships, which he promptly used to put down a large-scale international revolt. The big pill to swallow 吞下 狼吞虎咽 swallow is that Saddam Hussein has been an asset to the global planners in the West, and they did everything possible to keep him in power. This strategy has lately become so obvious that there's no longer any serious attempt to conceal it. 消灭 conceal it. The task now is how to explain it to the gullible public, so as to make it sound like a good idea. As mentioned previously, the think tank and talent pool for the implementation of this strategy has been the conceal Foreign Relations. In 1996, the managing editor of the CFR's monthly journal Foreign Affairs was Faraz Zalak, who offered the following rationalization 辩解啊，这是辩解 ration ration rationalization rationalization. Yet, it is tempting to get rid of Saddam, but his bad behavior actually serves America's purposes in the region. If Saddam Hussein did not exist, we would have to invent him. We would have to invent him. The end of Saddam Hussein would be the end of anti-Saddam coalition. Nothing destroys an alliance like the disappearance of the enemy. Maintain a long-term American presence in the Gulf would be difficult in the absence of regional threat. 什么意思呢？这个辩解是什么意思呢？这个辩解是什么意思呢？这个辩解是什么意思呢？除掉商人确实很有用。It is yes, it's time to get rid of them. Tempting,引诱。Tempting to get rid of them. Yes, it's tempting to get rid. But bad behavior actually serves Americans' purposes in the region. If Saddam Hussein did not exist, we would have to invent him. Invent. Oh. If Saddam Hussein, we would have to invent him. The end of Saddam Hussein would be the end of anti-Saddam coalition. Coalition. Nothing destroys an alliance like the disappearance of the enemy. 为什么比敌人消失更能摧毁一个联盟？哦 Nothing destroys an alliance like the disappearance of the enemy. Maintaining a long-term American presence in the Gulf would be difficult in the absence of regional threats. 维持美国长期在海湾将变得在海湾的势力。如果没有地区威胁，维持美国在海湾长期存在的原因将变得困难。所以必须有一个地区的威胁才行。如果没有地区威胁，没准备的话就变得困难。讨论海湾战争后萨达姆政权存续。萨达姆在入侵科威特后被多国联军击败，但未被推翻。美国籍政维持了对制裁会继续存在。反藏人中的多国部队，萨达姆提供的中东立足点。其恶劣行为是后面一个他，但是并 justify 没有敌人摧毁两面也预示着斯堪他人和美国人进入战争。前文联系萨达姆如何被禁。哎呀，这牛！哎，这个真的是他们看问题的眼光是完全不一样的。哎，所以说思路决定出路啊，这个眼光真的是敌我双方矛盾的问题。This is about as clear a statement of structural formula as one is apt to find. Apt 高高兴兴的 ，apt 恰当的聪明的 ，apt to find. Yet, many people can't believe it is real, even congressmen. For example, representative 代表人 James Trafficant from speaking before the House of April exclaimed, America gives billions to Russia with American cash. Russian builds missiles. Russia then sells those missiles to China, and China who gets about or 45 billion in trade giveaway from Uncle Sam, then sells them Russian-made missiles to Iran. Now Iran, with those Russian-made missiles sold to them to China, threatens the Middle East. So Uncle Sam, who is concerned about Iraq threatening the Middle East because of those Russian-made missiles sold to them by China that we financed by America can send more troops and send more dollars. Mr. Speaker, this is not foreign policy. This is foreign stupidity. Japan can't. Is on target with his analysis of the problem, but he missed the bull's eye regarding the cause. American leaders are not stupid. They merely are implementing the Roosevelt formula to justify world government. It is necessary to have wars and the threat of wars. Wars requires enemies with frightful weapons. Saddam Hussein is one of the best enemies money can buy. Enemies money can buy. Enemies money can buy. 用钱买到的敌人，他这问题分析的很到位，is on target with his analysis of this problem, but missed he missed the bull's eye regarding the cause. Bull's eye on target 很到位 ，missed the bull's eye 没抓住核心。American leaders are not stupid. They merely are implementing the Roosevelt 他们只是在实施 Rothschild formula to justify world government. It is necessary to have wars and the threat of wars. Wars require enemies with frightful weapons. Saddam Hussein is one of the best enemies money can buy. 用金钱买到最佳敌人之一。Oh my goodness！真的是太棒了，太棒了！这个分析，天，这个分析简直太棒。If it is true that Western leaders are deliberately funding their own enemies, we must assume they have considered Lenin's prediction that by so doing, they are preparing their own suicide hours. Also, by the way, we must also conclude that they are confident to avoiding that destiny. Whether they are right or wrong is not the issue here. The point is they believe they are correct, and further, they are building a world order which they are confident of being able to control. How they plan to bring that to pass is the subject of a later section, but perpetual war is an important part of it. Unless we are able to break the grip of this strategy, the grip 一串儿，抓牢，抓牢 ，break the grip 放弃控制这个。Roosevelt will continue to play a major role in our further efforts to abolish the system. Okay. Okay. There are few historians who would challenge the fact that the founding of World War One, World War Two, sorry, Korean War and the Vietnam War was accomplished by the magic mechanism through the Federal Reserve System. An overview of all wars since the establishment of the Bank of England in 1694 suggests that most of them would have been greatly reduced in severity, or perhaps not even fought at all, without fiat money. An overview of all wars since the establishment of the World Bank in England suggests that most of them will have been greatly reduced in severity, or not, or perhaps reduced in severity, not even fight at all, without fiat money. Oh, it is a it is the ability of governments to acquire money without direct taxation that makes modern warfare possible, and a central bank has become the preferred method of accomplish that. One can argue the necessity, or at least the inevitability, of fiat money in time of war as a means of raw survival. That is the primal instinct of both individuals and governments. Instinct, 内在的、本能的 instinct，天生的 instinct. All other considerations aside, we shall leave that for the philosophers. But it can be debate, no debate. There can be no debate over the fact that Germany in time of peace has no such justification. Furthermore, the ability of governments and banking institutions to use fiat money to fund the wars of other nations is a powerful temptation, 诱惑, for them to become embroiled embroiled in those wars for personal profits, political advancements, or other reasons, which fell far short of a moral justification for bloodshed. The Federal Reserve System has always served that function. The ongoing strategy of building up the military capabilities of America's potential enemies leaves us no reason to believe we have seen the last of war. Therefore, it is not an exaggeration to say that the federal system encouraged war. There can be no better reason for the creature to be put to sleep. 呀，这个挺好啊。哦，哇哇哇，棒哎，很棒哎，朋友，你很棒哎。啊，这个结论下得很好。所以嘞，one can argue the necessary, or at least the inevitable fiat money in time a war as means of raw survival. 求生的本能. This is the primary instinct of both individuals and government. All other considerations aside, we shall leave that for the philosophers. But there can be no debate over there can be no debate over the fact that fiat money in time of peace has no such justification. Furthermore, the ability of governments or banking instruments to use fiat money to fund the war of other nations is a powerful temptation for them to become embroiled in those wars for personal profits, political advantage, or other reasons which fall far short of a moral justification of bloodshed. 有人可以争辩，在战争期间使用法币货币作为原始生存手段的必要性，或者至少其实不可避免性。这是个人中的原始本能，其他所有可能都为个人。我们将这个问题留给哲学家去讨论。I'll consider it that way. We shall leave that for the philosophers. 但无可争议的是，和平时期法律没有这样的正当理由。此外，政府和银行利用法律货币资助他国的战争，当然是强大诱惑，他们使他们个人利益、政治晋升或其他远不足以作为流血道德理由卷入战争。联邦储备系统始终履行着这一点。美国人不断增强潜在敌人的军事能力和持续策略，让我们没有理由相信战争已经结束。因此说，美联储系统鼓励战争并非夸张，没有什么比这个更能让这个怪兽沉睡的呢。One can argue the necessary or at least inevitable failure in time of war as a means of raw survival. That is the primary instinct of both individuals and governments. All other considerations aside, we shall leave that for the philosophers. But there can be no doubt over the fact that fiat money in time of peace has no justification. 理由。Furthermore, the ability of governments or banking instruments to use fiat money to fund wars or other nations is a powerful temptation for them to become embroiled in those wars. Embroiled for personal profits, political advancement, or other reasons, which fall far short of major a moral judgment for a moral justification 道德理由 for bloodshed 流血。The federal system has always served that function. The ongoing strategy of building up the military capabilities of America's potential enemies leave us no reason to believe we have seen the last of war. Therefore, it is not an exaggeration to say that the Federal Reserve System encourages war. There can be no better reason for the creature to be put to sleep. Okay, I think that's all for today. Tomorrow we will read the summary of this chapter. Only one? Okay. Let's read it. Let's read today. The birth rate resolution was conduct 什么意思？in which 政变 coup d'etat coup d'etat coup d'etat coup d'etat okay coup d'etat in which radical minority captured the Russian government from the moderation revolution majority. They accomplished this through deception. Deception. Organization decline. Dis, 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 discipline 啊，注意在前面 discipline and surprise. The Red Cross mission of New York financiers through support to the Bolsheviks and, in return, received economic rewards in the form of the right to Russia's natural resources plus contracts for construction and supplies. The continued participation in the economic development of Russia and Eastern Europe since that time indicates that this relationship has survived to the present day. These financiers are not pro-communist or pro anything else. Their motivation is profit and power. They are now working to bring both Russia and the United States into a world government, which they accept to control. War and the threat of war are tools to prod the masses towards the acceptance of that goal. It's therefore that the United States and the industrialized nations of the world have credible enemies. As these words are being written, Russia is wearing the mask of peace and cooperation. But we have seen that before. We may yet see a return of the evil emperor when the time is right. US government and the mega bank fundings, first of Russian and now the Chinese and Middle East military capabilities, cannot be understood without this insight. OK, wow，这个总结的好哎，这个总结的好哎，哇，我终于到315了，我再赶上315，315，OK。The Brush Revolution was what could怎么了？Kudeta Kudeta in which a radical minority captured the Russian government from the moderate revolution majority. Moderate revolutionary majority. They accomplished this through deception, organization, discipline, and surprise. 欺骗，中国deception 组织、距离和突袭。discipline, organization, deception 不错 deception and supplies. The Red Cross mission of New York financiers through support to the Bolsheviks and, in return, received economic rewards in the form of the rights to Russia's national resources plus contracts for construction and supplies. They continued participating in the economic development of Russia and Eastern Europe, since the time indicates that this relationship has survived to the present day. These financiers are not pro-communist nor pro-anything else. Their motivation is profit and power. They are now working to bring both Russia and the United States into a world government which is equipped to control. War and threats of war are tools to prod, to raid, prod,鼓励、催促、推动或驱动 the masses 群众 masses toward the substance of that goal. It is essential therefore that the United States and the industrialized nations of the world have credible enemies. As these words are being written, Russia is wearing the mask of peace and cooperation. But we have seen that before. We may yet see a return of the evil emperor when the time is right. 以前见过情况，可能我们会再次情况。We may yet see a return when the time is right. Evil emperor. US government and Michael back. First of funding. First of Russia and now of Chinese and Middle East. Military capabilities can't be understood without the insight. A tale of three banks. Okay, that's all for today. Wow. 我的爱赤裸裸，现实就是这么赤裸裸。Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you. Let's wrap it up today. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.